Do a quick Shema right quick. All right, hey, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, 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 Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Yahweh, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Yahweh. All right, Shalom, Akim, and we'd like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, double honor to our apostles, great millstone, Ruel. Peace and blessing to the house of David the elect. All right, I'm Zahab, to my right. All right, and today we're going to go into a topic entitled Trust the Most High's Timing, or Trust in the Most High's Timing, you know, either or. All right, and that's the beauty of this journey that we're on. He's grooming us to trust in his timing, because, you know, you watch these motivational videos, it's a motivational video with their title or similar to their title, but it's something that you can put into context of what we got going on in this truth, man. Because the Most High can show you that I got you, but he'll sit there and wait. Because, you know, when you first, you'll start out with strong faith, but then when the Most High delay his coming,
that's why he said, shall I find faith on earth?
Right.
You know?
So
because when Most High delayed his coming, that's when people they begin to become faint.
Yep. That delay. That's how they have a lot of movies. You know, the bad guy has the girl locked up, entangled, and she knows the superhero's gonna come. But it's like, okay, when is it gonna come? The bad guy got the chainsaw now. When the superhero gonna come?
And the majority of the movies, you never understand the moral to the story until you get to the end.
Until you get to the end. So, hey, that's the opening of this live stream. You got this.
It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Yep.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
And the vision is speaking now. The vision is are the prophecies. All right? And the prophecies are speaking now. We're the Most High press play on the prophecies. All right? Hey, Shalom. How about Shema Shabbat? Hey, Shalom. But the Most High press play on the prophecies, man. So we're living in a time that we're reading about. We're reading about us. I'm willing is us. We're reading about it, you know? But if you could continue on, what happened? The point is in verse 4.
It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Like you said, we're going to learn in the last, when it's all over, all right?
Though it tarry, wait for it.
Though it tarry, wait for it, man. We got to trust in how about Shema Shai's timing. Like the apostles, what they spoke on, what they experienced before the year 2000. All right, everybody thought the Lord was going to come back in the year 2000.
That's right.
Though it tarry, wait for it.
And because the great sifting had to come. Because truth be told, even though there were a great majority of Israelites who came into the faith at that particular time, the Heavenly Father discarded of the great majority of those individuals.
Yep.
So that meant what? That it wasn't the time.
Yep.
Because he had to go through a sifting process. Yep. Even go back into the time of the Exodus when the children of Israel wandered around in the wilderness, they had to not see the promised land. Yep. They had not to go into what you would call the kingdom. They had to be put away. Yep. So the Heavenly Father, all things move on his time, although time still steady progresses.
So a very valuable trait to have is patience, and align your spirit up with his timing. Like, I don't know when he's coming, but he said it was coming, and we trust him. You know?
It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Yep. Behold, his soul which is uplifted. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not right in him.
Talking about the nation of Edom.
Yep. But the just shall live by his faith.
But the just shall live by his faith. And we are coming into a time where we're unplugged from the grid, and we're going to have to live and breathe on our faith, man. We don't know how our family's going to react. You don't know if your wife's going to be with you to the end. You don't know if she's going to take the little ones. We don't know. But we're going to live by our faith. And that's what the Most High is grooming us through his mercy, all right? He's grooming us through situations. The situations are training rooms. They're like training divisions, so to speak, to groom you to trust him. Hey, that's your goal. You know how you have fitness goals? We have spiritual fitness goals.
That's right.
Our spiritual fitness goals is to depend 130% on your how about Shimmy How Shot. All right?
I got a precept. The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, and start at verse 34. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds,
Yeah, when we first woke up in the truth.
and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods,
Yep.
knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and an enduring substance.
Yep.
Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward.
Hey, cast not away therefore your confidence, because faith goes into confidence. Trust goes into confidence. You're confiding. We are confiding in his word. We are confiding in the fact that he said he's going to protect us. We are confiding in Job, the 5th chapter, where it said we're going to laugh in the time of famine, man. In death and destruction, thou shalt laugh. We're confiding in this, man.
The overcoming of calamities.
The overcoming of calamities
And adversities.
Yeah, we don't practice scenarios, and you know how Esau, those doomsday preppers, they got their guns, and they got all these scenarios they practice just in case so people try to come in and loot. We don't practice, man.
And also casualties of war.
Yep.
And because we're in a war right now, a spiritual warfare,
Yep.
when you have so-called casualties of war where it's individuals that fall out
Yep.
that you may have liked or enjoyed to be around as individuals. You know,
Yep.
we had individuals like that from Texas, from
Illinois,
Atlanta, yeah, Georgia,
Yeah.
Illinois. You know, these things must sure come to pass because the offenses in your house shot, they have to come.
Hey, it's how they say in the world, trust the process. Trust the process.
Right. Hey, it was funny about that. I had a meeting, and the senior vice president of the company that I work for, he told me that. He said, you know, my name Benny. He was like, Benny, just trust the process, man. Just trust the process. You know, he's from Alabama, but I had a little issue or whatever, and we had a discussion about it. He said, just trust the process, and you'll see what happens.
Yep.
And you know, and it happened. You know, what needed to happen happened.
Yep.
You know,
Cause
so you know. Hey, but that just back up what you said and trust the process, because that was just funny, you know, you brought that up.
It's a spirit. Because, hey, you don't want something to happen, but the Most High is making things happen as you pray. He's moving things around in the world to your advantage. That's why it says all things are for the elect's sake, man. Hey, somebody lost their job, but guess what? You just got a call saying they hired.
Yeah.
But they weren't planning on losing their job, and the person, the employer, wasn't planning on firing them. That was for you.
And you got to take yourself out the equation because you don't have any strength, power, or might in your own hands, man.
Yep.
You know, you look at situations and circumstances and you want to rectify it, or you want to fix it,
Yep.
or you want to be the one who mold and mend it back together. When you're fighting against the Most High, ultimately, you know, hey, could anyone turn back the persecutions that came upon our forefather Job? Could anyone change Saul's heart during the time he wanted to pursue David unto death? No. So you do what? You go back and you respect the process. You have trust in it.
You gotta trust. Be still and know that He's Yahweh.
That's right. Hey, because the Most High, He's on a different time period.
Yep.
You know, He says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways my ways." So if He's the creator of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, He's the creator of time itself. Who are we to try to go against that and try to figure those particular things out?
Yeah, and then we're the ant in the ant bed. The Most High is looking over the ant bed. So you can't gauge the power of somebody that has that much more insight than you do, because we're just an insignificant ant. So whatever's in your mind is insignificant to the mind of the Most High. That's why it says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways your ways. Right?
Back in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahweh, ye might receive the promise.
Yep.
For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry.
And it's Yahweh Shah. That's that ravening bird from the east, mentioned in Isaiah around the 46th chapter, man. See that we put it all on the line for the coming of Yahweh Shah. He said he didn't tell us exactly what day he was gonna come, but he gave us markers. When you see this happening, then you know I am not. When these things play out in the earth, then you will know. So we know based on these markers that we see on the television and the internet, oh man, it's right around the corner. We at the time of the chip. All right?
Verse 38. Now the just shall live by faith.
And that's a heavy scripture. The just shall live by faith. We're being molded to the point where we're going to live by faith. And that's in every facet of our life. Like you brought out situations you have, all right, and things, brothers want things to be amended. You know what we mean. But that's the Most High has to let that play out. We got to trust this process. You know?
It says, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him.
If any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him, because the whole thing is keep moving forward. All right? But the point is, we're being molded to be men who live by faith.
And the Most High's timing.
And we're being molded as men of Yahweh Shah to live on the Most High's timing.
Hey, because if you draw back, that means what? That you don't trust the Most High's timing. Meaning you don't trust the Most High's process. So if you're leaning unto your own understanding and not trusting the process that was handed down from you on high, then do what? He that leads to his own understanding shall be destroyed, man.
Because you might say, okay, I'm not gonna get the jab, right? I'm not gonna get the jab, but if the Lord will intervene in 3 weeks, I'm gonna take it. You're not trusting him. Who are you to give him a time?
The year 2000.
If the Lord will come back in the year 2000,
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm going back to college. Who are you? He said he would come. Hey, so we have so much that we got to work on within ourselves when it comes to aligning ourselves up with the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah, we out here teaching, but we got to live this on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday basis, man. The Most High always putting you in circumstances that's really forcing you to trust His will. All right?
Yep. It says, be ye still and know that I am Yahweh.
Yep. Can you got some?
Kind of have.
Okay, cool.
Just going back into the word and how sealed verses in the time. This Daniel 12:8-9. And I heard, but I understood not. And said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end.
Yep.
Just going back to the Most High's time.
Hey. Hey, you gotta, the Most High is forging you to be a man who relies solely on His time. And it takes a divine trait to ignore what everybody is saying around you and look forward to Yahweh Shema Shai. Because we know it's finna get nasty when decisions gonna have to be made about are you gonna take the jab. All right? Decisions gonna be made about the livelihood of the family based on if we gonna take this jab or not, man. And you already know, I don't know how it's gonna play out, but you already know that I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna trust on the Most High. You know?
Big precept.
All right, come.
2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 45. Well, I started 44. Then answered I and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, and if it be possible, and if I be meet therefore, show me then whether there be more to come than is past, or more past than is to come. Just showing that the prophet Ezra, he inquired of the angel on the Most High's timing. Was there more that is for to come to pass, or am I living the current time to where the end is not right now? Because when you know what the Most High has prepared for you, then you know what position you stand in it currently. Yep. And then you understand, okay, the Most High, just as you mentioned earlier, going into how the scriptures talk about how wicked generation seeketh after a sign, but the Heavenly Father, through His only begotten Son, left us little tokens. He left us little visions and things that were supposed to put us in remembrance. Okay, it is not even at the door. And that's what the prophet Ezra was inquiring about, because all spiritual men have a spiritual watch, because the timing from the heavens up above is different than the time here on earth. The earth time is nothing but a 24-hour lustful clock. It's nothing but 24 hours to fulfill the carnal flesh. But the Heavenly Father's spirit, a spiritual clock, puts you on His timing to where you know that when them clouds crack, you know this is it. This is it.
So we're on this journey. You have markers on the journey to tell you how close you are to the end of your journey. That's right. We're witnessing a marker on this journey that is a great indicator that the end is near. All right, when it comes to that jab, man. All right.
And even if you want to leave Jackson, Mississippi, and go to Memphis, Tennessee, you have what the highway department road system called highway markers or mile markers. So let you know you're 1.7, 2.7, 3.7, such and so on and so forth, miles away from what? Your ultimate destination. Our ultimate destination is not only to receive that penny, which is the token of the kingdom, but to physically receive that kingdom, man. Hey, because we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, but it's all upon the timing of Yahweh Shai. Because His only begotten Son don't know the time. The angels in the heavens up above don't know the time. But we were given those tokens that remedy, right? It remedies our spirits to move according to the Heavenly Father's time period.
And that's why the disciples, when they saw Yahweh Shai, it's like, without this time restored, get the kingdom of heaven. Hey, you got to trust the process. Hey, but then, the falling away had to happen. The Roman Empire had to temporarily get this sacked or destroyed, then we have to rule for 1,000 years, but then we have to lose our position. They have to come back as the Renaissance, the global slave trade to take place. But they was hasted. Like, they wanted to happen now. But like I was broken down to Ezra, all right, can you force the process of a woman giving birth? She has to go through that process, man. All right? 1 Peter 4:18. You know, hey, we are being crafted and groomed. How about Shema willing to be men who solely rely on his word? That's the spiritual fitness goal of a man of the Lord. Is to be a man who solely relies on the timing of Yahweh Shema, his power. You know? All right.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
And the righteous gonna scarcely be saved. So he's already telling you, you will be delivered, but you're gonna be scarcely delivered. You're gonna look up at the side, you're gonna see the missiles. You're like, damn, am I gonna get delivered? And that's when you're gonna get delivered.
Yeah. Hey, because you're not gonna know it until it happens.
Yep.
Until you beamed up, that's when you're gonna know it.
Yep.
You know? But death can be imminent.
Yep.
Death can be closer to you than his brother is standing to me.
Yep.
You know, but the righteous shall scarcely be saved in that instance.
Yep. Hey, we're being crafted and groomed to rely and trust on Yahweh Shema's timing, man. And the process can be uncomfortable, but the things that make it more comfortable is you understand why it's happening. Why is my life always on the edge? Why am I always barely making it? Now, some brothers are more than barely making it. Some brothers, you know, they're doing okay. But it's in general. Why am I always put in situations where I don't know the outcome of it? The Most High is grooming you to trust him. Because in the end, I mean, in the near future, we're going to be in uncomfortable situations where we're going to have to trust him, man. All right?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
And we shall be changed, man. And those new bodies. Hey, that's why we put away with this kingdom. That's why we're not making the effort to be successful in this kingdom. We put it all on the line for this. Because you got people who are successful that's getting their leg amputated. You got millionaires, all right, they got to have doctors to come see them. They overweight, they obese. They suffer from depression. We get these new bodies, man. We put it all on the line for the kingdom. They have these celestial, terrestrial bodies. When you watch movies like Superman of Steel, and you watch movies like Hancock, and you feel something inside of you. When you was a little boy, you watched Mortal Kombat, and you felt something, that tickling feeling. When you watch these movies, and you wanted to have those powers so bad, well, we're going to have those powers and more. And we rely on his timing, man. All right?
It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Going back, didn't it say that in 2 Ezra 2? How they put on the immortal when they was receiving those crowns? These are, they took off, roughly paraphrasing, they took off the mortal and replaced that with the immortal, man.
Mortal clothing.
Those mortal clothing, the immortal clothing, man. We're going to be the immortals. We're real close to it. So we got to go through the bitterness, but along that bitterness, what does it say in 1 Corinthians 10 and 13? Hey, the Most High is going to give you a way to escape. So we got to trust that. We can close it off here. We can close it out with Psalm 46 and 10. And we're constantly going through situations where we gotta compose our spirit, because sometimes you get antsy and panicky, and you get anxious, whether it's your own personal financial situation or things going on around you and whatever it may be. Hey, but you gotta force it is already written. You gotta understand that the outcome is already written. All right.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 46 and verse 10. It says, "Be still and know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai."
Be still, because it's gonna get anxious. It's gonna get, shaky. Because King David got shaky, but then he saw the deliverance of Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, the Most High defended him, pursuant to Psalm 17. All right, the chariots came, Psalm 18, something to that effect. The Most High delivered David, man. All right, so he's gonna deliver us. David's life was the blueprint for our life. That's why we're the house of David. All right? But pretty much, we got to be still and know that he's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And we're constantly going through scenarios in our life where the solution to the problem is to be still and just rely on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. All right?
I finish off. It says, be still and know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth.
All right, so with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, double honor to our apostles, great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessing to the house of David the elect. Till the next time, Shalom.